So topic is engineering mechanics. So mechanics is one of the branch of mechanical engineering subject. Basically, mechanics is divided into two categories. One is engineering mechanics, and second one is quantum mechanics. Nowadays, all engineering subjects are dealing with the engineering mechanics only. Why? Because the basic concepts of mechanics is depends on completely depends on engineering mechanics itself. This quantum mechanics is entirely different from this engineering mechanics. Why? Because this is the sequel of engineering mechanics. So all JNTU K to JNTU H, JNTU Anandapur and NU, all these universities will follow only this engineering mechanics. So we will deal this engineering mechanics now itself. Now, what is the basics of engineering mechanics? The basics of engineering mechanics is subdivided into two main branches. Those are called as statics, and second one is dynamics. Second one is dynamics. What is the basic definition of engineering mechanics means? The study of forces on a body. Study of forces on a body is nothing but engineering mechanics, and this study of forces on a body, this body will depends on what? Whether the body is moving or whether the body is in rest position. If the body is in rest position, then we will study how the force will act, then it is called as statics. If the body is in moving position, if you study forces on the moving body, that is called as a dynamics, simply we can say. Now, in statics and dynamics, basically we will deal with them. Of course, in a statics, in a dynamics, basically we will deal with starting we deal with a particle. After that, we will dealing with the rigid body, and this rigid body is one of the term which comes under engineering mechanics. Why? Because rigid body, first of all, what is meant by rigid body? If you take a body and you apply any forces on a body, any external forces on a body, then automatically what will happen? The body will deform, the body will changes its shape if you apply forces on a body. But a rigid body will not change its shape when if you apply, whether you apply forces externally or not, this body will not deform its shape. That body is called as a rigid body, and this rigid body is completely hypothetical. It is just an assumption, not a realistic one. Okay, now apply forces on a rigid body is a complete topic, and apply force on a particle is a complete topic. If you deal this statics is again subdivided into number of topics like force systems, second one center of gravity, third one moment of inertia. Complete statics topic will cover these three topics in this engineering mechanics. And here if you come under dynamics, in dynamics the body will move, that means the body is in motion. Here the body is in rest position. The body is in rest position, then we apply loads, then how are the force systems will be. The body is in rest position, how the center of gravity will be, how the moment of inertia will be. Same topic, same rigid body, here the body is in motion. That means what? The body is in rest positions like this. The body will move. That means here to here. If it covers x distance, then the body is in motion. How the body will move? Either will apply forces or will not. Those dynamics is entirely depends on two topic, that is called kinematics and kinetics. If you apply forces on a body, then the body will automatically move. Considering forces on a body and judging that body position will comes under kinetics. If you not considering any forces, that when the body is moving, that is called as a kinematic. Simply we can say, if you bicycle any cycle, what will you do? You will definitely pedal. What will do when you are pedaling? You are applying force on the pedaling. The cycle will move in this direction. You just remove your leg. That means what? You are not even giving any force. Then also the cycle will move up to some distance. When you apply force on a pedal, it will move. Applying force on a body, the body is moving. That is called as a kinetics. If you doesn't apply any force, if you remove your leg on the pedal, then also the cycle will move up to certain distance. This distance covered when the force is not acting, that is called as a kinematics. So, application of forces are not considered here. Here the forces will be considered. Got it? So this dynamics is entirely depends on what the body will be in motion. In kinetics, the body will move. In kinematics, also body will move. But in kinematics, you will not apply any kind of forces, but here apply the forces. Now, this kinetics and kinematics will categorize into two different. Like earlier, I can say it's a particle and a rigid body. If you say, for example, looking at the aeroplane at the runway, it will looks like a huge body. That huge body will be considered, as long as we are dealing with mechanics, considered as a rigid body. The same aeroplane, the same flight, if this will be fly on the sky, then it will looks like what? A particle. It looks like a particle. So the same plane will be considered as a rigid body, the same plane will be considered as a particle. Same plane. So we can apply this mechanics to dynamics up to where? Kinematics to kinetics. If you consider your body as a particle or a rigid body. So if you consider a particle, then basically we know in our 10th standards and in our intermediate levels, we will have equations of motions. We will have equations of motions. What are the equations of motions? V is equal to u plus 80. Second one, S is equal to ut plus half 80 square. And the third one is v square minus u square is equal to 2a s. These three are the major equations of motions which will deal entire engineering mechanics for any kind of problem. This mechanics, of course, dealing with dynamics, what you will say, whether the body is moving. And now I have a doubt, and you have a doubt. What's the body is moving in a straight way or in a curved way? If you deal a body is moving in a straight way, then it is called as a translation. Translation. It's called as a translation, and these three equations will be under translation. Translation means what? The body is moving in a straight path without any taking curves or any taking of any circular paths. But no doubt, body will not move only in a translation. Body will not move only in a translation. It will move in a circular path also. If you consider the body is moving in a circular path, then definitely these three equations will change. How this will change? If you consider circular path, actually what we say here, v means final velocity, u means initial velocity, and a means, of course you know this, all these things, acceleration, and s means displacement, and of course t is equal to time. In final linear velocity, initial linear velocity, linear acceleration, it's not a linear displacement, it's a displacement, and it's a time. When you consider what? Translation. If you consider curvilinear, then these three equations will undergo what? Omega is equal to omega naught plus alpha into t. Omega means what? Omega means angular velocity. Here the units of velocity is meter per second. Here the units of angular velocity is radians per second. So omega is equal to omega plus omega naught. And next, here the s is equal to theta is equal to omega naught t plus half alpha t square. And here third step is omega square minus omega naught square is equal to 2 into alpha t. So I will conclude here. I will conclude this mechanics topics here by concluding what? This entire engineering mechanics is depends on not depends, but it's a branch of engineering subject, and it deals with the rigid body when it is in static or when it is in dynamic. If you take it static, the body will be in rest position, and if it is in moving, the body is in moving position. So motion, the body is in moving position. If you move the body, then you will consider particle and rigid body. If you consider a particle, whether it is a translation or it is a curvilinear, and these 6 equations will rule. These 6 equations will rule entire engineering mechanics. If you keep the complete concentration on these 6 equations, you will do any problem in engineering mechanics in a fingertips. Thank you.